The Ange Derby is here. Spurs are facing Ange. It's not, guys. Spurs are playing Nottingham Forest. Ange has been sacked. We are on a good run of forms. Can we continue this? Can Frank continue this vein of form that he has in the last two games, playing attacking football, inverting fullbacks? Let us see. Hi Spurs fans, it's your boy here, Manny, and designated Hotspur once again. Thank you so much for tuning in. What is it now? I haven't checked in about a day. Let's double check. It's road to 200 followers. We are on 142 followers. So we've got 58 to go to hit our target. But thank you so much for everyone who subscribed, everyone who tunes in at all times. I was looking at it last time. It says that my majority of the people that watch me are from South Korea, which is crazy. But big up to you guys. I know you guys would have loved the thumbnail as well. But as per, guys, like, subscribe, share, do all that shebang, and let's hit 200 and then 300, 400, and let's see where this can take us. But guys, we're here after a great, I have to say, a great, in my opinion. I've listened to a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers who seem to want to dumb down our win against Slavia Prague. I thought it was a great win. It started with Sonny being back. Sonny, our legend. Absolutely chuffed. I missed the game because I had commitments on the night, which is super annoying. But I saw the videos of him signing his mural, which looked incredible. The speech at the start of the game, that must have definitely galvanized the fan base, galvanized the players ahead of the start. And yeah, Sonny has been such a great statesman for us. He's been such a great captain, and I'm so happy that he managed to finish his career with us by lifting up the Europa League trophy that some of our fans seem to want to discredit for whatever reason. Arsenal fans in disguise, yes, throwing shots at everybody that I don't think is talking sense. So yeah, it was an amazing night, and that followed with some great football. I have to say, listen, people were moaning about the fact that we left quite a lot of spaces in behind, but in my opinion, I'm sorry to say, but you have to take some risks. You have to take some risks if you want to play, attacking football, fluid football. And fluid football is what we saw. The interchange between Odober and Xavi and Kudus was a joy to see. It was a joy to see. That's exactly the kind of confidence that we want our players to have. And that's what we saw against that game. They came in playing man-to-man. Football, which was interesting to see. In the first minute, Odober skinned his man, literally putting in a great low cross into the box for Richarlison, and Richarlison missed. The least I say about Richarlison, the better. Very likable guy, but if we want to get to the next level, he's not the guy for us. Guys, I just have to say, you just have to say it as it is. But yeah, then again, we probed, and via a corner, Romero flick, own goal, we were on it. Then, second half, again, played very open football, attacking football, and that helped us with the penalty that I think it was Xavi that got brought down for that penalty, and then Romero gives the ball to Kudus, which would have done great for his confidence. And you can see that the bond between the players is clearly very strong, right? And Kudus, when with his celebration, my countryman, and for those of you who keep saying kudos, right? Johnny, Luke, Spotlights on Spurs, all you guys who keep saying kudos, please stop butchering his name. It's not that difficult to say Kudus. It's not that difficult, right? Okay, back to the game. Wonderful celebration, all the guys joining in. And then after that, we had another penalty. Actually, no. So Porro got brought down in the first penalty. Second penalty was Xavi, who was brought down, and he dispatched it very luckily. But listen, it was a good game. It was a must-win game. We needed to get that out the way. It shows the importance of the Bodo game, especially that we should have won that game. I was hearing from Johnny and the likes that last season and Lubo when we won that Bodo were a team of farmers, but for whatever reason weren't able to beat the team of farmers this season, right? We should have beat Bodo. We should have put a better performance against Monaco. And that is what has got us in a bit of a precarious position at the moment, because Van de Ven got a yellow card, which means that he is going to miss the Dortmund game at home, which is devastating. But you would hope that Danso can come in and do a job. And then we have Frankfurt away again, which I was told it's a game we should have won. So this game we should win. We should aim to fall into the top 8. That should be the aim. We should aim to get 6 points out of 6 in the final 2 games to propel us into the top 8, which would allow us to have a bit of a break in January instead of 2 games with the North London derby sandwiched into it, right? And the last thing I wanted to say about the game was, we had inverted wing backs, which I was being told is something that couldn't work in the Premier League for whatever reason, and it just shows you the lack of understanding for a lot of our fan base, right? A lot of our YouTube community on tactics, and the fact that because we had inverted fullbacks. So not wing backs. I think I've been saying wing backs for the whole video. Inverted fullbacks under Ange, we were being told, "Oh, it can't work." No. It's not. That was not the problem. It was the way the system was being implemented that was the problem, and that's why I keep saying I don't think Ange's philosophy was the big issue. It was the coaching staff that he had, who he had tasked to enforce his philosophy. That was the issue, in my opinion, because they were not good enough. They were not experienced enough, if you know what I'm trying to say. So it was quite interesting that we played with wing backs in that game. But to bring it back to Frank, it shows the level of adaptability that he has, whereby he can game to game tweak and change, and it's promising that these players seem to be adapting to it at the moment. So that was great. Moving on to Forest on the weekend. Forest were last night playing away in the Europa League at Utrecht, I think it was. They won 2-1. I didn't manage to look at the lineup that they fielded, but I think it was a must-win game for them, to be completely honest, which means that they would have played a strong team or practically a strong team is what I would have thought. And these Thursday, Sunday games are not easy, and that's what Forest are finding out. It would have been great if Ange was still there, because it would have been dubbed as the Ange Derby. having led us to a trophy last season. But that's not the case. They sacked Ange after he won no games, I think, in the Premier League. I think he lost all the games, actually. Which, again, if you want to give props or kudos to people who wanted Ange out, is the fact that at Forest, he unfortunately didn't change. He didn't change in terms of his tactics. He didn't change his philosophy of not having a set-piece coach. He didn't change his backroom staff, which ended up being his downfall, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's that. But going back to Forest, they are in my opinion, not in great form. They're not in great form. The last game they lost, what was it? 3-0 to Everton. Let me see whether that game was away from home or whether it was at home that they played. So they would have played, I think, on Saturday. Yeah, 3-0 away to Everton. And we beat Everton 3-0, which now seems to be an absolute masterstroke from Frank, because it's the Hill Dickinson Stadium is actually a tough place to go now. It's a really tough place to go. So, listen, they're in bad form. I was hearing Wolfie from Forest Fan TV, and he was saying that their football is atrocious. Their football is embarrassing. It's low block football under Sean Dyche. But I don't think you would have expected anything else from him, to be completely honest. But what you can't deny is that they have some good players. Morgan Gibbs-White, very good player. I rate him. I know people don't rate him because of his flicks and tricks that don't always pull off, but I really, really rate. Oh, what's happening there? Always have your Starbucks, guys. I'm not sponsored by Starbucks. I've only got 140 followers. Morgan Gibbs-White, I absolutely rate. They got Igor Jesus up front, that I rate. They got, I think, Ndoye and Daye, I can't remember his name, on the right-hand side. Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left-hand side. And even Hutchinson is also coming to his own. Like, these are quality players. David Luiz in midfield. Anderson, who would walk into our team. They've got very good players. However, we are Spurs, and Forest, I have to say. And by the way, this is nothing against the majority of Forest fans, because they have, I've watched a few content, etc., and they're quite level-headed. But because of Wolfie, right? Wolfie and his delusion of grandeur, because he thinks that Forest should be a top 6 team for whatever reason, after finishing 7th, which was the best position they've ever finished in like 30 years or whatever it is, right? I think. And if that's not the case, I think they probably would have finished, higher up, maybe one more time in the Premier League era. I don't know where the confidence from these lot comes from. Like, I'm sorry to say, but Forest right now, battling for relegation, is exactly where they should be. Last year, just like last year and last season was an anomaly for us, finishing 17th. Last year was an anomaly for them, finishing 7th. The manager that took them to 7th is not there anymore. So, Frank, come on. This is the time that you hone in on the momentum. Go out there. I don't care, as it's away from home. I don't care if we stink up the place. I don't care if we go with a dirty low block, right? But let's go out there and show them who the bigger team is. Let's go out there and nick a 1-0, a 2-1. Let's go out there and teach them a thing or two on set pieces. They are 17th. Wolfie is there yapping his mouth on every single content show, panel show that I can watch. You are 17th with a minus 11 goal difference and lost to Everton away from home 3-0. This should not be a conversation. They should not even be chatting to us, right? They should not be talking to us. I'm sorry. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? They are, I think they're 7 points away from us. They're two, what is it? Let me just double check. Leeds is above them. West Ham, who are 18th in the relegation zone, are 2 points off them. Let's plunge them into the relegation zone this weekend, Thomas Frank. Let's put them there. Yeah? Who's West Ham playing? I hope West Ham win their game. Let's put these lot in there. Them, their players, Morgan Gibbs-White, the traitor who had no backbone to leave Forest and come to us. And they're I have to be careful here what I say. The crook chairman, Meatball Marinakis, right? And his ego, let's push them down there. And I hope they get relegated, by the way. I hope they get relegated. I am saying that live on record, right? So, with regards to us, bringing it back to Spurs after that rant, we just have to do us. We just have to do us. The lineup I'm expecting would be Vicario in goal. Right back, I would have Porro. Udogie is obviously injured, so on the left back position we'll have Jet Spence. And by the way, we need another left back to cover because it's becoming ludicrous, and Jed's form will get affected if we play him too much. It will. So I don't know whether Frank is going to make any changes. I actually don't think he will, considering... when I say any changes, I mean changes with regards to the left back position and bring Archie Gray there. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have had 4 days rest between our game on Tuesday and this game. Forest played on Thursday, right? So there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be fresher than them. I don't think. Let me just double check the team that they used, that they fielded yesterday against Utrecht. So if I look at their lineup, they had Kalimuendo up top. They had Ndoye, Hudson-Odoi, Dominguez, Makati, Luiz. So to be fair, they did do quite a few changes, but no excuses, man. No excuses. So at the back, Van de Ven, Romero. Midfield, I think he's going to go for Bentancur and Archie Gray. Archie Gray, again, played a decent game. Again, I keep saying it, he played okay, but you could see he's not at that level yet. But I think he's earned to continue, considering the fact that the combination of Gray and Paulinho and Gray and Bentancur is much better than the combination of Bentancur and Paulinho. I don't know. I don't think. Maybe Frank might go Bentancur and Paulinho on this one, to be completely honest, considering the fact that we're playing away from home against a very gritty team. Maybe he might go, might do that, and I wouldn't bemoan him if he did. And then I want to see Xavi. Who's the only creator in our team. Xavi, who's the only connector in our team that allows for fluidity in our attack. Xavi has to play. He has to play. And then on the right-hand side, Kudus. And on the left-hand side, I want to see Kolomwani. I don't want to see Odobert there. Odobert had a great start in the game against Slavia Prague. Is it Slavia? Yeah, I think it's Slavia Prague. But he got lost. He got lost in the game after the first good 5 minutes. And that's what he has to change. He has to really improve on that. He has to be able to stamp his mark on the game for 90 minutes. Only then will he become the player that he's supposed to be. So I'll play Kolomwani on the left, Richie up top, and then Kudus on the right. And listen, I'll be okay with a draw, but let's go there and try and win this game. Let's go there and try and win this game. We are 3 points off the 5th position, occupied by Chelsea, right? We are 4 points off 4th. Let's be in the mix. Let's be in the conversation. Let's be in and around those places when the transfer window opens in January, so that when we end up helping Frank with, if 1 or 2 quality signings, and then when what's his name, Kulu and Solanke come back from exile, because I have zero clue where these players are now, right, in their rehabilitation, and for whatever reason, Frank seems to think that it's okay not to give fans any update on their return. Right? Once they come back as well, that can propel us to actually fight for that position. Yeah? Because unlike the deluded fans that think, oh, our players are marginally better than Fulham. Our players are so bad, we can't deal with Wolves. No. Our players are good enough for that. They're good enough for that. And over a course of a season, they're not good enough for a top 4 challenge. But this season particularly, the league is disgusting, right? Well, you've got Manchester United. I know they're playing 1 game a week, but they are awful. And they're sat 6th, right? If we are there and thereabout, Liverpool are struggling with the Arne Slot situation and the Salah situation. If we find ourselves in and around that position come the end of January, we could have a right go at it. So I want to encourage Frank to keep going as he has. Keep going as you have. Do not listen to that fan base that keeps saying you haven't got the players, so you can't play attacking football. We've seen in the last 2 games that you can. I am okay for us to have a Newcastle performance if away from home in all our away games, if at home we let loose and actually attack. So, guys, I'll leave it there. As you can see, I'm at work. It seems to be a pattern now. First, nice and early in the morning, get these videos out. This is my first preview, so hopefully you liked it. I will be back with... will I be back? Yeah, I will be back. I'm away next week, but I will be back with a post-match review after the game, hopefully to talk about another win that has propelled us on the top side of the table, and hopefully we can push Forest down into the relegation zone where they belong, down in the relegation zone where someone like Meatball Marinakis belongs, down in the relegation zone where boneless, spineless Morgan Gibbs-White belongs. So, guys, as I said, like, subscribe, share, and peace. Come on, you Spurs.